Good morning, cultists. Welcome back to another Unbalanced Breakfast with Cthulhu's. So last episode in Tyranny, we came to the Bastard City, and we faced Tunon's judgment, and we had a lot of people supporting us, saying like, "Oh, he's the best. He makes great lasagna. I love this guy," and you know everyone was all like supporting me and being all lovely and shit. And then Bled and Mark was like, don't do what you're about to do, Tunon, you're about to kill this guy. And apparently he turned, into a Brooklyner? I don't know. But anyways, so Tunon said, you know, we're innocent, and now we're accepting his fealty. So that escalated quickly, in other words.
Archon, change has come to the Tiers. And in time, it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach. The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tiers.
Fantastic.
You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the Tiers, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos.
Yes. Yes. Oh. What?
Go and represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tiers require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule. Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
Haha. Nice. Oh, we got a little achievement for that too. We good here? We're good here.
I am grateful to stand in your loyal service, Archon, but there is a shadow over these proceedings.
Tunon hesitates as he regards you, suddenly fearful.
Though you have proven yourself greater than the other Archons, Kyros is not satisfied. She sends a legion of expert soldiers marching on the Tiers as we speak, their war songs calling for your death.
Okay, well, what would you recommend?
Power begets power. A demonstration aimed at Kyros herself would give her a reason to regroup and consider her options. It would have to be a display of incredible proportions.
An edict proclaimed on the Northern Empire should do the trick.
Yes. Destruction on that scale might serve your purpose. The North will tremble under your forceful hand. Return to the mountain spire and see your will given shape and consequence. Show Kyros the face of true power.
I like the way you think, Tunon. I like you, man. I like you. What? Okay. Fantastic. I wonder if we're close to the end of the game. Kinda hope not. I'm having a good time. Oh, that's all you have to say? Okay, well, what about the other Fatebinders? I don't know what's more impressive, that Tunon humbled himself before you, or that you managed to get so deep under his skin. I've tried baiting him into arguments in the past for my own amusement, but you've made an occupation out of it. Ash didn't leave any remains behind, did he? Archons usually don't. I would have loved to mount his furrowed brow on the walls of the court, but I'll have to do without. I have my doubts that the voice of Narad is dead. That just seems like something that he would have planned for a long time ago. You sure you got out right, Archon? Callio shrugs. What can I do for you? Bled and Mark is under my control. What should I do with him? Kick back and let him do all the work? She chuckles. I jest, of course. If I were you, I wouldn't task him with anything frivolous. If you haven't noticed, his loyalty and his level of boredom are inversely proportional. Compelled the educator himself to kneel to you, did you? Rogalus grins. Impressive work. The last person who did that, well, Enough said. Ash has fallen then. Better that he died in the pursuit of a war than some undignified bed, surrounded by weeping mourners. Better for all our sakes that the voice of Nerat left this world. I always thought that Kyros used him to thin the herd, and that anyone in the hierarchy was fair game. Speculation, of course. You look as if you have questions for me to untangle. Ask, I'm feeling generous. Okay, well, Bled and Mark is under my control. What should I do with him? I'm torn up over how to answer that question. You should keep him busy enough that he doesn't grow stagnant and weary. But you shouldn't rely on him so much that his delusion of independence gets even worse than it already is. Alright. I'm guessing I can ask this guy the same thing. Let's do it. Might as well. So you convinced even mighty Tunon to bow and accept your version of justice. Best of luck assuming your new title, Charnel. I cannot say if I will follow you to whatever ends you purpose, but I will observe and judge in my own course. I hope that Ash did not suffer too terribly. Even in his worst times, he had a better sense of honor than most in Kyros' hierarchy. I know that I will sleep easier with the voice of Nerat dispatched. Whenever he visited the court, I got the impression that his adherence to law was some perverse joke that only he understood. Come, let us speak freely. Okay. Well, Bled and Mark is under my control. What should I do with them? That I cannot say. Whatever you do, I suggest you do so with care. Don't implicitly trust the assassin. We've seen firsthand how his fealty can contort itself into any shape. How are you singled out to become a Fatebinder? I cannot speak for the other Fatebinders, but I joined the court when I was yet still a boy and impetuous beyond reason. I had been imprisoned with a death sentence for the crime of desecrating corpses. He laughs hard and hearty. It was nothing so exciting as you're no doubt imagining. I was merely burning corpses that awaited burial. Before the local authority could see me to the gallows, the educator claimed me a great talent waiting to be realized, needing only to be steered. That's a lot of conversation, so let's just ignore it. Bye-bye. Awkward place to end the conversation, but oh well. I'm sure they're used to it. I mean, they've got Tunon as a boss. I'm sure they're used to awkward ends to conversations. I guess we go to the Mountain Spire? Is that what he told us to do? That is what he told us to do, right? Mountain Spire? I can only assume. I didn't actually listen. Yeah. I wasn't actually listening. Can I not end the Edict of Stones? How do I end that? I kinda get the feeling that I can't. That's my assumption anyways. Well, they've researched edicts. Actually, let's go to our library and make sure that we have everything that we need. Let's go to a forge first, because I want to get that that gauntlet that prevents disarming or whatever. Because if there's a big battle coming up, I'd rather be prepared. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. Fantastic. We got this thing. It's not amazing in terms of stats, but we can fix that, I think. Right? We can fix this? Yes, upgrade time. Cool. Fantastic. We can upgrade it even more. Exquisite. Lovely. And one more? Masterwork. Fantastic. Oh, look at that. It's even better than the Bane-touched gauntlets now. Let's do it. No, it's not what I'm asking you to do. Fantastic. Looks a little better too. Not gonna lie. Oh, it is heavy bronze armor. Okay, good. I was like, I swear, I thought that was bronze armor for a second. And it was, and it is. I don't know what I'm thinking. Otherwise, everything else is like perfectly leveled up, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. You got anything for me? No? I'm guessing not. Yeah, it's fine. Unless we can make something better for one of our people? Probably not. Alright, well, let's go back to the Ocean Spire where we have our library. And I believe they've done some research on edicts. Maybe we can get a new edict? Is that possible? I have no idea. I don't really know what the research things do, honestly. So I'm just kind of like doing shit. Made progress, fantastic. Edict of Malediction. Okay. Well, well, well. What does that give us? Does that give us anything? How do I... Let the foundation of Azure be shattered and life drained from the land while the traitor Cairn draws breath. Can we kill Cairn? Is that something that can happen? Like, I don't think we can. We can't even... Oh, wait. Can we go there? I'm actually gonna go to, Cairn to see if I can somehow end his miserable life. I don't know. And then get the Edict of Stone? Possibly? Although...
Right.
Where are we? So here's Cairn. And apparently he still draws breath. And that's a problem. Why can't you get there, man? What's... Oh, you need to... Right. You need to athletics this place. Got it. There doesn't seem to be mission to... you know, end the Edict of Stone or whatever, but... There's a way for me to... do this. That'd be great. And what's with all the, these things that we got? The Azurlith shards. What the hell do these do? Like, is that for anything? Does that do anything? Or is that for, like, a different quest that I didn't get? So, Karen's still here. He still draws breath. Come on, man. What am I supposed to do about this? Can I do anything about it? Okay, let's read this. Blah blah blah. Therefore, let the foundation of Azure be shattered and life drained from the land while the traitor Cairn still draws breath. How? How is he still alive? How do I kill him? Can I? I don't think I can. I think that's... This place is just...
Can't do that.
Screwed. Ah, what a waste of time. Can I go through here to get to the top of my tower? Oh, I can. Good. Thought it was gonna be a huge waste of time here. But thankfully, 'twas not. Let's instead go to our mountain spire. Actually, I forgot to set these guys to do another research. And I was kind of hoping that they would do another edict research to, I guess, get me more power? I apologize for all the loading screens, but I think the game loads fast enough that... Oh, wait, we can't research another edict. Well, that's stupid. And you know what, then? Let's just go with the shield plan. I don't know. Sure. And let's go back to the mountain spire. More loading screens! Yes! Loading screen simulator 2016. I love it. Apologies for that, had to take a little break. And we're back at Vendrian's Well. Alright, let's do this. The waves of energy radiating from the spire draw you forward, pressing your body and mind to its eager embrace. At the center of this tide, the resonator stands ready to broadcast your voice, echoing your commandments to the farthest reaches of the tiers and beyond. From here, the highest points in all the peninsula, you could, with a sum total of your effort, project your will far north, past the edge of the tiers, and proclaim your edict as far as the lands of the Northern Empire. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? So this is it. We've come a long way since the Edgering Ruins. Before this, I was nothing important. One of the Scarlet Chorus killers among thousands. But we're really doing something here. Thanks for letting me tag along. He turns to the edge of the spire, avoiding your gaze. This is new territories for us all. You're the first to strike a blow directly at the Overlord. Make sure it counts. Hope you don't mind if I stand back and take notes. By all means, continue. You've done great things to get here. Just imagine what you could do if you continued on this vein. Show Kyros what we do with the tyrants. I'm ready to stand at your side and see it through. If I don't show Kyros my ability to cast this edict is more than a one-time thing, the attacks will never stop. I want to say number 2, but I don't want to like gain fear with anyone, so I'll just say nothing. The spire awaits your command. What do we... Oh, oh wait, that's the Northern Empire? I thought the Northern Empire was like much farther away. Oh, we have an unknown edict? Damn it! So what is Nightfall? Permanent darkness to the land. Edict of Storms. Or Malediction. Twist strands of fate, causing misfortune and bad luck to plague your enemies. Plus 20 to damage. Damn. I feel like some of them... all of them have some kind of positive towards the enemy, except for Malediction and Nightfall. Let's go with Nightfall. Darkness plagues the region regardless of the time of day. Party gains a bonus to subterfuge and damage, while foes receive a penalty to perception, range, and accuracy. Foes are also blinded at the start of combat. Does that also include us? No, I don't think so. That's only them, I think, as far as I'm aware. Or should we go with Malediction? I feel like Malediction is just kind of like, bad luck to everyone. Oh well. It's not like a huge thing. I feel like Nightfall might be more terrifying. Or that or fire. But I don't want to like destroy the Northern Realms. I'd rather rule it if I can. So let's just go with Nightfall maybe? I don't know. Seems a little underwhelming in comparison to Edict of Storms and Fire. But I'm thinking Nightfall might be less permanent damage and better for us destroying their enemies? Or enemies, I guess? I don't know. So let's go with that, Nightfall. Chaotic victory. Your Edict of Nightfall shrouds the northern capital in unending darkness. While some remain in their homes and beg Kyros for salvation, those less hopeful make for brighter parts of the Empire, seeking the warmth of the sun and wondering how it was that the Overlord could not protect them. As chaos ensued in the Northern Kingdom, the armies marching on the tiers received an unprecedented order. The armors were to fall back to the capital, and ensure the safety of its people from the edict. For the first time in Kyros' great conquest, the armies retreated. Soon questions would be asked in a hushed breath across the lands about what the new and terrible power had emerged that could force the hand of the Overlord. You fulfilled Kyros' decree and all the tiers is now ruled by a single Archon. Your former rivals have either submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war to a close. Neither of the Archons charged with conquering the tiers impressed you enough to follow their lead. You ultimately defied your orders, seeing a better way to gain control. Eliminating every Archon who dared stand in your way, you carved your own seat of power in the tiers, keeping yourself independent from the Northern Empire. In their pride, the disfavored never imagined themselves beaten, especially when their opponents appeared so disorganized. The last remnants of the Legion dispersed, their general destroyed, their honor broken beyond mending. The scorn that follows their humbled ranks haunts them even in the depths of obscurity. The Scarlet Course may have been mighty in numbers, but that didn't stop you from thoroughly scattering them, cutting off the serpent's head and sending each of the gangs howling back to the chaos they sowed. How the remnants of the Horde occupy themselves without a war to fight becomes a topic for nightmares. Word of your success spreads beyond the tiers as well. Even the most distant corners of the Empire whisper of the Fatebinder, who rose to become an Archon, and an Archon whose intervention shattered the Conquest, making way for a new future in the devastated nation. Without the authority of Kyros' Archons to enforce the Overlord's vision in the world, the fall of the Conquest becomes a great revolution. Warring factions struggling for dominance and infighting is a fact of daily life. Every group insists the situation is an opportunity for the tiers to rebuild it as they see fit. The Edict of Stone continues to ravage the Stone Sea, sapping the land of arcane power and shifting the terrain at an increasingly treacherous angles. Any evidence of the former realm of Azure vanishes over time, until all that survives is a memory. Cairn, left to suffer in his half-dead state, continues to cause earthquakes throughout the Stone Sea, eventually leading to remaining humans to leave as the area becomes more unstable. By letting the Edict of Stone persist, you allow the Stone Stalkers to develop a nation of their own, where beastmen are free to grow their culture away from human habitation. The tribe expands by welcoming the strong and expelling the weak, grooming their ranks for a prosperous tomorrow. The Stone Stalkers grow in power, using their magic-infused crystals to fuel their spells. The death of Radix is a huge blow to the disfavored. Without the support of the Mage Guild, the Legion finds itself outclassed for the first time, and suffers on the battlefield. By claiming Sentinel's stand for yourself, your renown spreads across the region, and everyone comes to know you as the liberator of the country's most iconic fortress. That you claimed it for pride instead of any tactical advantage is a point of contention which your harshest detractors never fail to cite in their long list of grievances. You put the last of Graven Ash's family to the sword, ensuring the end of his long and decorated lineage. Though you often wonder if more could have been done to prevent the horrible deed, you don't bother yourself wondering for long. Though it takes time to recover from the devastation of the Edict of Storms, the Blade Grave begins its slow march toward healing. The realm of Stalwart may never resemble its former glory, but the land is not so blasted that something new and better can't be built up atop the bones of the past. The Regent bloodline has ended. With it, new traditions and legacies spring to life. Following Bled and Mark's direction, you fought your way through the Scarlet Course in control of Vellum Citadel, and found your way to the Silent Archive. By removing it from the building, you were able to end the Edict of Fire and also acquire an artifact of immense power. By taking the Silent Archive from its pedestal and disrupting the preservation spell holding the Vellum Citadel in stasis, he caused the collapse of the single largest repository of knowledge in Terratus. The world may never know the true extent of its loss. Though the sages persist in wandering the tiers and gathering research, the loss of the Vellum Citadel proves too crippling defeat. The scribes and mages seek opportunity away from their old home, a new refuge where they can start again, this time making sure their knowledge doesn't fall into the wrong hands. By withholding the Magebane Helm from Lethian's Crossing, you sabotage the city's protection against the Bane haunting its borders from inside the old walls. Sensing the vulnerability in its defenses, an unstoppable wave of Bane invade Lethian's Crossing, wreaking havoc and causing a catastrophic loss of life. The few ragged survivors abandon the city to the Scourges, never to return. I thought we were supposed to return the helmet. You allowed the Forge-bound Master to live, as her life held no bearing on your greater schemes. With Ash dead and the disfavored floundering, the Forge-bound also fail, having lost their main source of work. Eventually, their numbers dwindle to a handful of skilled forge workers who only take commissions from the very wealthy. By enacting an edict on Vendrian's Well, you announced your power to the world and showed Kyros' forces what you were capable of. When you defeated their leader and scattered the army before you, you sent the message to Kyros. who knew Archon was born. While the edict dissipated, its effects will always be felt as a first true threat to Kyros' rule. The death of Graven Ash means the end of the disfavored. Without the comfort and support of a great general, what remains of the Legion sinks into hopelessness. The Archon seat is left vacant, and whether or not it can be occupied again is a heated topic. Far from its place of final rest, the Northern Empire mourns its fallen son. Killing the voice of Narat spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, the occasion is marked by all who suffered under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags you. Though you witness his death, you cannot help but wonder if the voice of Narat is done with you. Tunon the Educator continues to dispense justice from a seat in the Bastard City. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or the patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the tiers would be nigh impossible. The fealty of a killer like Bled and Mark leaves you constantly glancing over your shoulder. You gain a measure of comfort by retaining his skills as a headsman, keeping him busy with assignments that take him far from your seat of power. As the spans pass, you come to rely on his knack for rooting out agents of your enemies, and sleep easier under his watchful protection. The death of Graven Ash left Barak a shadow of his former self. He follows you for a time, as much out of habit as reflex. All agree that there is nothing of him left under the iron shell. He departs your company without a word, assuming a position at a crossroads, where he allows himself to rust as solid as any statue. Well, that's kind of sad. I guess we didn't really garner enough loyalty with him. Verse finds herself adrift in the relative peace that follows your conquest. She returns to the field and seeks out young women from rural communities, imparting her fighting skills to only the most passionate. Over the course of many apprentices, she follows the voice of Narat's example and forms a personal army, the Callous Sisterhood. Verse proves to be a strict teacher, and you hire her services often, confident that she'll take any assignment where there's blood to be spilled. Lantry keeps a close watch over you, scribbling his account of your deeds and accomplishments. In his tireless quest to fill the chronicle with history and knowledge, he follows you even into his twilight years, and together you learn much about the world. You pretend not to notice Lantry's waning strength, though you find yourself pausing mid-sentence to let his writing catch up. He recognizes your generous ruse and appreciates it in silence. Ebb remains in your company, where she seeks out promising recruits among your supporters. After recognizing some obvious talent, she takes on a team of apprentices in a new school of would-be typecasters. Though she often jokes that the school is bound to fail with her at the helm, her students think otherwise, as do many dozens of hopefuls who come begging for her tutelage. With no desire to remain in the company of humans, Kills in Shadows returns to the wilderness and seeks out her own kind. She discovers a haggard community of beastmen who abandoned the realms of Haven and Azure, only to be enslaved by Kyros' forces. Out of this rabble of defectors, she forges a tribe, their nomadic ways of respecting no established border or law. They raid villages and caravans when impossible, glutting on the spoils and boasting their severed ties with the human world. Though a large bounty falls in the tribe's wake, no human can survive the hunt for its leader. Without the threat of the Overlord's control, Siren struggles with how to manage her freedom. Inspiration finally strikes her and she travels tears, visiting small villages ravaged by Kyros' occupation. She sings to the frightened and hurt villagers, buoying their spirits and allaying their fears. Guilt for her hand in the horrors wrought upon the world by the Scarlet Chorus spur her on, and her wonders become more and more spectacular. The followers of the Songbird grow in number, taking the message of peace and harmony throughout Terratus. By abandoning your decorated career in Kyros' military, you gave the Tears room to define the path ahead. The future will not be mapped by foreign ideals or the will of a distant autocrat. It is only a matter of time before the Overlord launches a retaliation. You will be ready to face it. Without allies, the winds are especially cold atop your spire. You await Kyros' inevitable advance, brooding over the decisions that led you to this point. Though the Tiers are a friendless place, they are indisputably your new home. Wow, that's it? Holy crap, I didn't think that was the end, but damn. I don't know, I gotta say, this game really left me wanting for more. Oh, we did skip the credits, okay. So yeah, the game really left me wanting for more, and I was kind of sad to see it end, but wow, I don't know, I had a lot of fun with this. I hope you guys did too, and I do apologize for my bumbling narration. Yeah, I think I just need to get a little better at reading and whatnot. But I really hope that you guys had fun. I really did too, and I actually might come back to Tyranny in the future. Maybe try a different playstyle, maybe try a different kind of alignment. Try to make friends instead this time. Maybe side with a Scarlet Chorus. I don't know, but we'll see. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the playthrough. I hope I did Tyranny some justice, and yeah, I hope to see you guys around in the channel. Please do check out my other videos if you kind of like my style of humor and whatnot. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. If you like the playthrough, I would really appreciate it if you left a like. And if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe, and you'll be notified of, more stuff that I put out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and have a good breakfast.